1,000 workers in Russia and Belarus, but did not immediately say how many would lose their jobs. Do you believe in ghosts? Some members of the Tampa Rays baseball team do, and they're not so thrilled about staying at the historic Pfister Hotel in Milwaukee. It has a reputation for being haunted. One player who is particularly upset is third baseman Yandy Diaz. His teammates are not helping. In Detroit on Sunday, they taped a cartoon ghost to his locker alongside the Spanish word cuidado, watch out. Diaz considered staying at another hotel at his own expense, but he was promised a room in the newest tower of the Pfister, and management guaranteed it is ghost-free. Outfielder Roman Quinn says he heard multiple stories about paranormal encounters from his former teammates with the Phillies. They included outlines of non-existent beings on beds, disappearing figures in the halls, and clothes mysteriously moving around rooms. The Mets are trying to help kids with math. The team has partnered with Burden LLP Accountants and the nonprofit Learn Fresh to help stimulate kids' interest in math, science, technology, and engineering.
Combining math and sports, it just makes it more fun. And we are trying to use sports to have education be a fun experience for them. So with the hopes that it will drive future in education.
That's Frank Vitale, the Chief Marketing Officer for Burden LLP. Today at Citi Field, about 40 middle school students took part in a competition called Math Hits. The winners got a trophy and $500 gift cards, and they were treated to the Mets game. There's already a similar program involving the NBA. It's news time, 2:19.
Hey, I got a question. Do you hate bending over to put on your shoes? Wish you could just put them on standing or sitting without ever having to touch them? If so, then I have the shoe for you. Introducing new hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Footwear you don't need to touch to put on, and it's only from Skechers, the comfort technology company. With new Skechers slip-ins, you just step in and off you go. You don't even need to lace up. And these are not your standard slip-on shoes. This is the next level slip-in technology, so it's even easier. How do Skechers slip-ins work? Well, there's a special smooth comfort pillow in the heel that helps your foot slide right into place. And it also keeps your feet secure in heavenly comfort, which means they stay on just like a pair of lace-up sneakers, and you can even put them on with your hands full. What, are you rushing out the door with your kids? No problem. Just step in them and go. Look, we all hate bending over and struggling to put on our dirty old germy shoes, but now, just get Skechers slip-ins and never touch your shoes again. Find new hands-free Skechers slip-ins for the whole family at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
The relentless pursuit of the stories that matter to you. 10-10 wins.
All news, all the time. This is 10-10 Wins. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon. It's 83 degrees at 2:20. I'm Larry Cantor, and here's what's happening. The proposed numbers for congestion pricing are out, and they don't add up for a lot of commuters. Buses arrive in New York with more migrants from Texas. New York's Attorney General finally deposes Donald Trump, and he was uncharacteristically quiet. President Biden signs the bill to expand health benefits for veterans exposed to toxic burn pits. NBC will host the Golden Globes again after the Hollywood Foreign Press Association reportedly made significant reforms. In sports, Mets playing the Reds this afternoon at Citi Field. It's the fourth inning, and the Mets have a 6-1 lead. Yankees play later this afternoon in Seattle. AccuWeather, chance of showers and thunderstorms tonight and tomorrow. High tomorrow, 86. News time, 2:21. Time for traffic and transit, and here's Greg Rice.
Well, you know there's going to be a certain level of pain on the B2E these days, either way to the Brooklyn Bridge with that long-term pattern, but somehow it managed to get worse. Eastbound B2E right before Atlantic Avenue, you got a stalled van blocking the left lane, exacerbating an already bad ride from 38th Street. Westbound B2E, trouble starts in Queens at Queens Boulevard, where an accident has two right lanes shut, loading you up from the Grand Central Parkway, and then in Brooklyn, westbound B2E, that mess from White Avenue over to the Brooklyn Bridge. In Queens again, Long Island Expressway, a westbound truck broke down at Springfield Boulevard. That's got the right lane shut. and it has you all sorts of slow back to Nassau County. Westbound LY stays slow past Queens Boulevard, even with the earlier accident out of the way. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Citybound George 30 to 40 up, 20 to 30 down. Northbound West Side and southbound Deegan, the least bad getting you out of town. Lincoln about 15 in. The inbound Helix is jammed. Outbound no more than 10. Holland, it's about 10 minutes in either direction. I'm Greg Rice on Extra Port at 231 on 1010 Wins.
Congestion pricing is a step closer. The MTA has laid out 7 possible pricing scenarios that could have drivers paying up to $23 to navigate the streets of Manhattan below 60th Street once they leave the FDR or West Side Highway. On 1010 Wins Newsline today, we heard pro and con. Danny Perlstein is with the Riders Alliance, and he's all for it.
It raises money to make the subway reliable and accessible. It helps get unnecessary car trips off the road. The estimate is about 10 or 15%, and that'll significantly ease traffic.
But one of the scenarios has truckers paying up to $82. Kendra Hems is president of the Trucking Association of New York. She says this is the thanks truckers get.
If we've learned nothing from the pandemic, we should know how essential trucks are to New York City. If we did not have the trucking industry while the shutdowns were occurring, we wouldn't have had food, we wouldn't have had water.
Today's news has drivers thinking.
Drivers heading into the city are stunned now that they know what the MTA is considering charging them. They're going to be paying as much as $23 more for her commute.
I have to change. I keep saying that I have to change or just not work in the city. That would be the solution.
The goal is to reduce traffic below 60th Street, but for this truck driver, he has no choice to pay even as high as $82 that's being considered.
You got to go in that area. What else can you do?
That is afraid they should be paying the extra cost with or without her car.
Whatever they're bringing into the city that they have to bring is going to go out. Whatever's on that truck.
Darius Ramsey, 1010 Wins on the Jersey City side of the Holland Tunnel.
You can read all the details in the MTA report at 1010wins.com. A domestic dispute boiled over in Brooklyn last night, and an NYPD officer has been arrested. They say 24-year-old officer Simon Alvarez got into a dispute with his ex, and her child was in the room at the time. Alvarez is charged with strangulation, menacing, harassment, and acting in a manner injurious to a child under 17. More migrants arrived in New York by bus from Texas today. They were carrying more than 100 asylum